So, yeah, I'm gonna delete that VOD really quick. No avatars on it. Yeah, I guess so. Well, how the fuck can a person who does that get away with being on stream for long enough, being on the game for long enough to get labeled as a trusted? I don't know. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of what I'm learning. Foxy is VR chat is not gonna be. Fair enough. Because I'm going on there just to see what the cringe is like. Um, I learned that it's worth it to not get on VR chat again, at least not on stream. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. That that VOD. Okay. So, that's nice. Hey, if you're uh, to people who were stream sniping me who might still be watching, it was funny, I guess. Like, I don't know. No, to be fair, if I was watching this happen to somebody else, I would probably. No, I would just think it was lame. I would just think it was lame and really weak that they were doing that. But I guess I don't know. Fair enough. You know, they had a goal. They set out to do it. I got. No, I'm not gonna make my stream 18 plus. Like I might as well anyway, because I don't like want any kids to watch my stream anyway. Fucking stop saying that it was you, Kusan. I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Um, like I don't want any kids watching my stream anyway. So like, I suppose I could, but it's also not. It's not really like an adult themed fucking stream. Like I say no words, but I don't really. Hi, Mooney Buns. How's it going? I've lost my trust in people now. Are you just stopping by to say hi? Do I know you? Jesus Christ. Are you part of it, Foxy? Are you part of it, Foxy? I don't know who is anymore. It's like it's like the Cold War. Spies are all around us. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, why do it to a guy who has like 5 viewers? That's what I don't get. Um, but maybe I do. Maybe it makes it like an easy target thing. I don't know. It's what I get for being. For being a grown man with a job. I guess as I get kids getting on there and telling me to get a job, calling me slurs. Is it for a flex? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe in a week, we can try to find me on a find a compilation of like streamers getting owns with furry dick pics. Maybe I can find a clip of me. That would be fun to watch. I think if I do steal the clip, I would probably like. I don't know. I would try to repost it somewhere and be like, "Hey, check it out. This thing happened to me." Well, now I know. It's not as if I was having like that much fun with VR chat. you know, but if you wanted to drive me away from it, you got what you wanted. This is what they want. They're recording me right now, and they want me to be like, I feel violated. I can't believe they showed me a furry wiener. I've seen. I look at furry wiener pictures for breakfast, bro. No. Okay. Okay. All right. Poor Aslan's got to go to bed, so we gotta wind down. I did say I wanted to, I wanted to get horny. Well, that's not what I mean. This stream is usually pretty horny, We're just horny for sensible stuff like Frank West. We play Dead Rising and talk about how fucking hot Frank West is, or we exactly, we're horny for fun. Or like Silent Hill 4, This fucking chat gets horny for fucking Eileen. Silent Hill 4. All right. Okay. So Aslan wanted bedtime story. Let me see if I have anything written down. I got like one thing written down that could be funny. If you ever need VR chat help. Thanks, Moody Buns. If you're not someone who's I just don't got trust. I don't know. You guys seem cool, Moody Buns and Foxy, you guys seem cool. So if you're not people who have been stream sniping me tonight, follow the channel. Hit me up sometime in Discord or the Instagram or something, Chill people. We really are chill people. But if you are the people who are like stream sniping me, I'd rather you not. So, please don't. Or do. You would never do that. Yeah, I hope not. But that's also something that someone would say if they did, if they were that person. All right, so I have one story written down that I could tell. It's not super fun. I want to think of like you guys have a theme that you want to throw at me? Like you want a story about food or you got the log, yeah. I don't know. It is what it is. Funny way to fucking funny, haha. Very funny, haha. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't cut it off the end of the VOD. Maybe I should just have the VOD end with some guy walking up to me and calling me the N-word and and things just freezing up. It's funny, for what it's worth. What the fuck? Okay. All right, I got my story. It's not like super like thrilling or anything, but like okay. I guess I got two. I'll throw a two at you because I feel like I don't have enough like wham, bam, wow stories, you know. So I'll throw some small. So I don't know. This isn't really a just
You're
a
my
oh
new boyfriend.
hey everybody, we have a new boyfriend. Shout out Smoothie Buns. Glad to have you here. Um, you know. Thank you, love you. Um, big story. So small story first, I guess, which isn't really much to say, but this kid lit a tree on fire in middle school once. I don't know why, you know, that just randomly came to me, but it was probably in like seventh grade, maybe seventh grade. Like I was like 13. Um, and we had this. There was this kid. I probably shouldn't say his name, but his name was funny because it was a scary name. Like he had the name of a bad kid. His name was Damien. You know, which is like, you know, that's the name that people use for like the son of the devil or something, right? Damien. Is that in like the Omen or something? But it was this kid Damien. Damien Sandow. Exactly. Oh, you knew him. I guess he grew up to be a pro wrestler or something. No. This kid Damien was fucked up. You know, like he was a friend of a friend, you know, like I was never like close with him or even cool with him, you know, but he was like friend of a friend. Dude, thank you for sticking around, Kuzan. I appreciate it. Thank you all for sticking around. Those of you that are probably very sleepy. I actually have work at like 9 a.m. tomorrow, so I get it, but I make the sacrifice for you. And this is what I get in return. I get furry dicks. Man, I'm fucking 27 years old. Um, thanks for just rubbing the fucking log in my face, Foxy. I appreciate it. So Damien was a troubled kid. I think he came from a fucked up home. Yeah, dude, it's Damien coded. You know, that name is such a. But he came from a troubled home. I think he was abused. You know, his fucking dad was crazy. His dad was like a skinhead or something. We all kind of thought. But the one time Damien came over to my house, and I, you know, wasn't friends with this guy, but you know, the friends of mine that I had that were friends with him were like, nah, come over to Bill's house. He's cool. You know, he's got fucking Halo 3 or whatever. So he came over a couple times. And like once he brought his like little brother, who, you know, we were like 13. His little brother was probably like, I don't know, like 7 or 8. And he strangled him. He brought his little brother over to my house and he strangled him. You know, like he, oh fuck, like my mom kicked him out. Is what happened. Like she was coming into the room to say hi to something. You know, say something to us. And she found Damien strangling his little brother. And like kicked him out. We were kids, so we didn't have like the social, you know, like maturity to be like, hey, you know, bro, stop like strangling the kid. But mom came in and found that and kicked him out. But this kid Damien was crazy, right? And in 7th grade, school was over. Yeah, exactly. You don't have the confidence.
You're my new boyfriend.
Uh-oh, new boyfriend alert. Hey, Foxy, shout-outs. So glad to have you here. Glad you subs during this scary story. Yeah. Love you. Shout-outs to Foxy and Mooney. My two friends that came during my low point after being stream sniped in VR chat. Uh, anyway, it was the end of the school day, and after like your last class, the bell rings, and you're supposed to walk out to like the loading zone, of like the buses, um, and wait for your bus to come and get on and go home. It's funny that I gotta like talk about that because it's easy to forget because it's been 100,000 fucking years since school. But we were outside of the school waiting for the buses to come, and it's a courtyard. There's trees, and there's grass, and sidewalks, and like we're all just like sitting around talking, and one of our friends is like, "Dude, look at that," and so I turn around, and the fucking tree was on fire. Like the tree was engulfed in flames. It was like it was scary, Uh, it was scary, It is what it is. Like fire department came and put it out, but it was fucking crazy, dude. It was exciting. It's a core memory, Like nobody was hurt, and I don't know. Like a week later, I think they found out that it was Damien or something, but he had like snuck over to that tree and lit it on fire and fucked off. I think he just walked home or something. And that's kind of the last that we heard from the guy. Like, I don't know. Some of the friends who were like cool with him, like stayed in touch with him. I hope he's doing well. I think I might have saw him on Facebook a couple years ago or something. But yeah, that Damien dude was crazy, man. Hope he's doing better now. I don't know. But would you look at that? When you light trees on fire, they catch on fire. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still alive. I don't know. There might have been like rumors that he went to juvie or something, but I don't know. Like I think he was just dealing with some shit, but I hope he got it figured out. I get it. Life sucks. Life sucks for every middle schooler. And it sucks. Way more if you're getting your ass kicked by your dad every day. Anyway, that was that story, and I have another one that we'll finish off the night with here. Story time is always fun. I love telling you guys stories. This is not a story about Damien. This is a story about me. What a happy story. This would have been probably around the same time, maybe even like the same school year, or maybe it was 8th grade, like a year later. I feel like it was 8th grade. I feel like that sounds more accurate for some reason. But it was 8th grade, so still middle school. I'm like 14, like maybe 14. I was kind of on the younger side, so I might have been 13 still. But so this thing happens to me between the ages of like 9 and like, I don't know, from 9 to 19, that range. I started having like these allergy attacks. But we never found out like what I was allergic to. Never found out. Like I still don't know. It's obvious that I have like seasonal stuff, and like dust upsets me pretty bad. But this was not regular allergies. This was advanced allergies. So between the ages of 9 and 19, this thing would happen where, just totally randomly, most of the time it was in like the mornings. But like my body would fucking like die. Like I would get these like stomach cramps that like still to this day kind of, were like the worst pain that I've fucking had in my life. You know, and I've like burned myself. I've like, it fell off of moving cars. What else? I've gotten my ass kicked. Um, had like stomach flu. Had tattoos. Whatever. That is the worst pain that I've ever had in my fucking life. Where these, random like stomach things that would happen. Sometimes I would puke. Most of the time I would have diarrhea. Just randomly some mornings, it probably happened like once a year, maybe. And it started slowing down. Like it happens like a whole lot from like fourth or fifth grade through like freshman year of high school. Then it kind of petered off, like and like most of the high school years, it was like maybe once every couple years or once every few years it would happen. Then like the last time that I really had it was when I was like 19 or 20. Knock on wood. But I haven't had it in a very long time. So I don't know if I like grew out of it. But funny enough, like recently I've kind of developed an allergy to beer. Not gluten, not wheat, just beer for some reason makes me feel like gnarly. It makes my saliva thick. It gives me stomach cramps. And I don't know, kind of in like a similar realm to like the allergy attacks that I was having. Not as bad, but still pretty bad. I don't know. That's a recent thing that I've developed. And it sucks because I used to love beer. Hey, shout out, Ari. It was good having you. Thanks for being here for a lot of this. Through thick and thin. Appreciate it. But that's a recent thing that I've developed. I don't know, but it like that doesn't make any sense because I can have fucking everything else fine, like anything with gluten, anything with yeast, I can have and I'm totally fine. It could be the way that they prepare it. You know, like I'm sure that there's stuff that's in beer that is not in bread, but I'm not a brewer. I don't know. Maybe it's the fermentation. I don't know, but I don't know. That's a recent thing, and it's been similar to these. But anyway, I can drink fine. Like I've kind of had to switch over to White Claws now. That's kind of like the seltzers. It's like White Claws, High Noons, which work fine. And but cocktails I can drink and be totally fine. I can drink whiskey, which has like similar stuff in it. Haha, white girl. Fuck you. You're literally a white girl. Don't talk shit to me. But I can drink whiskey fine. I can drink wine. I can, drink vodka. But mead is kind of a similar thing and has a similar like effect on me. So maybe it is some kind of fermentation thing. I don't know. And I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about this one time in probably the 8th grade. Woke up. It was a morning like any other. Mom made me, I think it was like some oatmeal for breakfast, which was like my favorite breakfast as a kid. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because she made it really fucking good. With like butter and like cinnamon Like the toast would have like cinnamon, and I would dip the toast in the oatmeal, and oh god, it was so good. It's like they say, like shit's not how mom used to make it. It's true. Um, but you know, fucking had my breakfast. It's fucking early, like those buses ran at like fucking 6:30 or 7. So I had to get up super early, have my fucking breakfast, get dressed, brush my teeth, do the mouthwash thing, and get on the bus. And I lived in like the same neighborhood with like a handful of my friends. So on the bus was like, I don't know, like two of my like really close friends and like a handful of other friends that I knew and felt comfortable with. But I was sitting with one of my close friends. Um, um, it was actually Dylan. So you guys might not know Dylan, but Mel, who like was on stream for like a very like brief amount of time. She's married to Dylan. But Mel's not here, so it doesn't really matter. But Mel, shout outs to you, who's no longer in chat. Shout outs to your husband, Dylan, who's one of my oldest friends. We were riding the bus together, and my stomach starts to do that thing. That really bad cramp, like terrible, terrible pain. Like it was hard to walk. It was hard to stand. Starts on the bus ride. I get off the bus. It's kind of a walk from like the bus station to the school. But they drop us off, and me and Dylan are walking from the bus station to the school. It's early, like the sun is like barely coming out, and it's freezing fucking cold. That's the thing. It's Arizona, which for some reason everybody thinks is really hot. It's not. It's freezing cold in like the desert for many months. And this was during the winter, so it was fucking freezing. And we're walking back, but my stomach is doing that thing. So at one point, I just like sit down. Like we pass a bench, and I sit down, and I'm like, dude, just fucking go. Like I don't know, because I didn't know that it was like an allergy thing yet. So I was like, I don't know if like something was like wrong with my breakfast, or if the theory that okay, this is relevant. I was like, I like think I might have like swallowed some mouthwash when I was brushing my teeth and doing my mouthwash this morning. And I wonder if that's the reason why I'm like sick, is I accidentally like swallowed like mouthwash, which is not how it works. You know, like it's just mouthwash. You need to swallow like a lot of mouthwash to feel the effects, I think, right? But um, I don't know. So I say like I don't know if it was like mouthwash that I accidentally swallowed, or if my breakfast was fucked up. If something was like spoiled, it tasted fine. I don't fucking know, dude. But you go on to class. I'm gonna chill here and like see if I feel better. Um, and I don't. Um, I like feel worse and worse. Um, like the pain is like really, really bad. So I say that that these attacks were like the worst pain that I ever had. Um, this one, like the one from this story, was the worst. The worst. You know, this was probably the worst pain that I have ever had in my whole 28 years of life on this God blessed earth. Um, but so I'm in terrible pain. Like my saliva is getting like so thick that it's hard for me to breathe. You know, like I'm constantly spitting it out so that I can breathe. My lips are getting tingly, and I'm starting to puff up. You know, lips are starting to puff up. My eyeballs are starting to puff up a little bit. Shit's getting real. Normally, I think that like when this would happen at home, like my mom would just give me like a Benadryl, and it would kind of just like burn itself out. But I didn't have a Benadryl in my system. I was not at the nurse's office, you know. I was not with anybody because my friend had left. So I was just sitting on this fucking bench in the freezing cold, dying. You know, wait, hang on. You guys know that's that part in E.T. where he's all pale and he's like dying on like the side of a river, and it's like the scariest fucking thing. You guys know what I'm talking about? I'm pulling it up. Yeah, it was a great start to the day, dude. Just wait, it gets better. This shit here, hang on. This the part in ET where he's dying. That right there, that was me. Oh, don't look, stunt. Sorry, don't look. It's crazy. So just picture that, you know, that's me that morning lying there with a raccoon next to me. You're going, eh. You know, that's what he sounds like. He looks like a salmon. I thought so too. He looks like a salmon. That's such a good roast. This motherfucker looks like a salmon. You know, but that was me just lying there. Then eventually, you know, class starts. And, like, my teacher notices that I'm not there. And she's like, you know, like, where's Billy? Anybody know if Billy's absent today? Or something. You know, this is what I'm assuming. But I'm assuming that Dylan was like, hey, you know, Bill was, like, not, like, feeling well. He was at this bench. Should probably go check on him. But, so I'm lying there. And, like, someone shows up. I don't know if it was a teacher or, like, a janitor even or something, you know. And they're like, hey, kid, are you okay? And, no, I'm not okay. So the nurse shows up as he's checking me out. School nurses don't know shit. You know, they're school nurses. You know, like, they know basic stuff. Like, oh, you know, you're in pain, so you should have a pain medication. Or you're having allergy symptoms, you should have allergy medication. But she didn't even know that, you know. She didn't know to give me Benadryl. But I didn't know, you know, that I needed Benadryl. Plus, I probably didn't have the wherewithal to think of it. Like, I was probably starting to get, like, loopy. You know, like, just in a haze of, like, misery. So she's like, what do you want me to do? You want me to call your parents or fucking call you an ambulance? And I'm like, do both. You know, because I was fucked up. So yeah, the only time that I've ever been in an ambulance, they called an ambulance to the school. You know, this was probably by like second period, maybe. The classes were going on. The bench that I was at was like next to the gym. So like the gym class kind of like popped outside and like watched me as I was dying. like the it was actually probably like maybe the closest that I've came to dying. Like I almost drowned once, but I think maybe this was the closest that I came to dying. Because my body was going into shock. And I like know this, like because I've like that's a feeling that I've only ever had like a handful of times where like your body can't stop like shaking. You know, not like shivering, um, but convulsing. Like just crazy shakes the whole body, and I was doing that. I was lying on this bench doing that. Like kids were watching, like probably Dylan, I think, was there, and he was like, "Dude, holy shit, man! I thought it was just a stomach ache." Um, but yeah, like right around the same time that the ambulance showed up, like my mom showed up, and she was like, "Yeah, I guess take him," because we can't afford that shit. We were paying that shit off, I think, for like years. Um, but oh god, my poor mom. She's like watching this happen. I'm being loaded up into an ambulance. Um, Shaking like fucking crazy. They gave me a shot from like an EpiPen, um, which flushed it out of my system. Uh, by the time we got to the hospital, they were able to give me like a Benadryl or some kind of allergy thing. Then at the same time, like the adrenaline had like worn off, and I knocked the fuck out, for like several hours. It was an amazing sleep. It was an amazing fucking sleep. For a hospital bed, it was good. Um, it, that's probably one of maybe like yeah, like two times that I've been in like a hospital as a patient. I think the other time was also an allergy attack, but it wasn't as bad. But yeah, I slept really, really good in the hospital. By the time I was done, they said like, "Hey, man, like you're good to go." Sent my mom home with an EpiPen, which was another crazy expense, dude. This was like probably 2008 or 2009. So like the economy was in like the toilet, and like we had just moved out to a new state. Um, they didn't really have jobs. Like my stepdad was like a freelance guy. He was able to pay for a lot, because he was able to fix things. But I'm not sure if my mom had a full time job yet. Even it was a crazy financial hit that I would thank them for if I was able to. You um, but I was crazy fucking day. You know, um, Insane. Then the next day, I was able to go to fucking school. Um, and all the kids were saying like, dude, Billy, you like that shit was crazy, man. Like you were fucking wasted, huh? I was like, what are you talking about? Um, like, nah, man, you were fucking drunk, man. I've been there, dude. I've drank. You crazy, dude. It was like middle school, But I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not like how drinking works. But even then, I clearly was not drinking. Uh, but I guess what had happened was Oh yeah, so Dylan must have been in that class that like watched me get loaded into the fucking ambulance. Cause I think like one of my friends was like, "Dude, what happened to Billy, man? Why did he go in like an ambulance? Is he okay?" Um, and Dylan was like the only person who saw me that morning, and he said something along the lines of like, "I don't fucking know, man. He just told me that he had a stomach ache. You know, he thought that maybe he drank like some Benadryl, or, oh my god, some Benadryl, like some mouthwash, and like just gave him a really bad like stomach ache or something." But I don't know. Um, which like him saying that, through the grapevine of like middle school kids, just over the course of one day, that turned into like, yo, Bill had an overdose on fucking mouthwash, dude. He was chugging mouthwash, and it gave him an overdose. Um, which now as an adult, I'm also thinking like that's not like fucking possible, right? Mouthwash overdose. That's a good name for a band. Mouthwash overdose is a great name for a band. Um, it's just alcohol, yeah. Um, yeah, I think it's just alcohol. It's just alcohol, boy. It's just alcohol. Uh, um, when ingested in, where did it go? Yeah, yeah. You just die of alcohol poisoning, I think. Um, anyway, you've been gone this whole time, Warman here. You just missed a fucking great story. You just missed a great story. Oh my god. You like literally just missed it. The story's over. Okay, you're at work. Shit. Well, thank you for watching this at work. That's nice. Holy fuck, that means a lot. Um, sneakily at work. You fucking rule for that. Well, you should check out this VOD when you can. Because I just told a couple of really good stories. Um, chat can vouch that it was a based fucking story. Um, about probably like we figured out that it was probably the closest that I ever came to dying. Wild stories. Um, I don't know. Might be the closest that I ever came to dying. I like, almost drowned when I was like really young, like like 6 at the most. Um, that's probably the closest. Oh, here's the 2 times that I came closest to dying. You know, fucking people can't drive. I've been in kind of no, I've driven in really sketchy weather, I guess, before. Uh, I gotta write those down. Those are good stories for next time. Anyway, yeah. So I think Aslan fell asleep. Shit, I think Kusan fell asleep. Damn, they were both super tired. I think it finally caught up to him. I wouldn't blame him. You know, I'm very sleepy myself. It's 1 a.m. I gotta be up at like 9. I think I don't know what time do I work tomorrow. So What an interesting live stream this was, huh, guys? Played some Fortnite. Um, Had a really fun time doing some road tripping. Um, got stream sniped hardcore. This stream really did have it all. Holy shit. I was gonna check my schedule. That's what I was gonna do. Yeah, what a good ass fucking stream. God damn. God, I work at 9 a.m. I gotta be up at 8. Ah, Christ. I got I got like 6.5 hours of sleep ahead of me. And then I gotta work a full shift at this job that I fucking hate. uh, but then it's my Friday. So that'll be nice. Anyway, I got this. Thank you, Stunt. I'm in so much pain. I really jacked my back up. Maybe I'll take a hot bath after work tomorrow. I don't know. And maybe I'll live stream that. Unless. All right. Never mind. Okay, Warman here. If you're still here, you rule so much, and I'm so glad that you stuck around to watch me sneakily while you're at work. That's so cool that, it means a lot to me, and it's very flattering, and it's very fun. Hope you have a great day at work. Hope you had... Oh, your manager's sitting across from you. Hi, manager. Don't tell him I said hi. No, thank you for being here. Check out the VOD for this one when you can so that you can see those stories. We had some good stuff. Stunt, thank you for being here for just about all of this, yeah? You fucking rule, dude. Always a pleasure to spend time with you, my friends. If anybody else is watching and is actually still watching and not like asleep, big shout outs. Big shout outs to Foxy and Mooney, the new people who seem very lovely. And also Wild, such a cool name, fucking Wild Wolves Nation Gaming, who followed us during the trucker portion of the stream. Shout outs. Shout outs Kuzan and Aslan. You know I love you guys so very much. Even though you're sleeping, two sleeping beauties. Oh, we love it. And anybody else who's watching that I don't know, love you. Subscribe. Join the Discord and all that. Oh, God. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Remember to take care, okay? Okay. Be good to each other, but be good to yourself, too. For God's sake, you fucking deserve it. More than you think you do. Believe it or not. Good night. Good night. Good night, guys. This live stream brought to you by Gay Bald Man Radio, 69.69 FM, The Poop. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.